In this video, we're going to take a look at an introduction to factorising trickier quadratics. We've already seen how to factorise basic quadratics where the coefficient of x squared is 1. So for example, x squared plus 3x plus 2. We should be able to factorise this here with no issues. This is a product of double brackets, like so. And at the front of both of these brackets here, or the first term in each bracket, we'd simply get an x. Because x times x there would give us the x squared that we need here. So we're calling it basic in this context here because the coefficient of x squared is simply 1. Okay? But what we're looking at now is how we'd factorise, say, something like 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. Let's just write that down here. Let's have a look here at how we'd factorise 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. Okay, so again, what we'd get here is a product of double brackets. That doesn't change. So here we're going to get a product of double brackets, just like we've seen here for this quadratic. But what makes this slightly different now is for this quadratic here, the first term for each of these brackets here was simply x. And that works because we had x squared here. But now for this quadratic here, because we've got 2x squared, what that means is at the front of one of these brackets we need a 2x. And at the front of the other bracket here, we simply need x on its own. Okay? So where do we go from here? Well, it works almost in a very similar way. To begin with, we find two numbers here that will time to give me this n number here of 4. So we're just thinking about the factors of 4 here. So to begin with, let's say we pick the factor of 2 here. So 2 squared is 4. So we've got 2 and 2. Okay, so we've got 2 and 2 here. So if we just take a look at the brackets here for a moment, when I put these numbers in here in a moment, then one of these numbers here would be times by 2x. So in other words, the number here that I'm picking out these factors, one of these will double. Okay, the other one is being times by 1x, so that would just remain as it is. Okay, that wouldn't change. So because we've got 2 and 2 here, it doesn't matter obviously which one we double, it'd be the same either way. So let's say I double this first 2 here. That would give me 4. And what I do here is I circle the ones that we're now times in by 2 and by 1 here. So we're going to get 4. And then 2 times by 1 will give me 2. Okay, so we get 4 and 2 here. And what we do now is we check if we add these numbers together here, do we get this middle term? Okay, so 4 plus 2, does that give us 9? Oh, clearly not, right? 4 plus 2 is 6. We need 9. So that doesn't work. Okay, obviously it doesn't matter which way we double 2 and 2 here. We just get 4 and 2 again. So it doesn't work here for these factors of 2 and 2. So now we think about some other factors here. Let's do it underneath. We could also pick 4 and 1. Okay, or 1 and 4. If we do it in that way, 1 and 4. Then, like we said here, one of these will double. The other would be times by 1x, so it would just remain the same. It wouldn't change. So to begin with here, let's double the 1. Okay. If we double the 1 here, well, that would give us 2. We get 2 there. And then the 4 here, that wouldn't change. It's just being times by 1x. That would just be 4. Well, that gives us 2 and 4 again, but we've already seen that that doesn't work. So we'll cross that one out. So if we double it in the other way now, so the 1 here, we times that by 1x. That would just remain as 1. And then if we double the 4 here, that would give us 8. Okay. So now we just add these together. 1 plus 8 gives us 9, and we need 9 as well. Perfect. So we know these here, 1 and 4 is the correct choice. And we need it in this order here. Okay. So like we saw with quadratics like this, it doesn't matter on the order here in which I put the factors in. Okay. However, quadratics like this, more advanced quadratics or trickier quadratics, then it does matter. So what we saw here is the 4 doubled. Okay, 4 times 2 gave me the 8. What that means is now we need to put the 4 here in the other bracket that's not with the 2x. Okay, the 4 goes in this bracket, and because it's positive 4, it would be x plus 4. Then the 1 here goes in the other bracket, and again, that's positive, so it would be 2x plus 1 there. Okay, and there we have it. So we factorise now this quadratic here. We get 2x plus 1 times x plus 4 there. Okay, and there we have it. So like you can see, nothing too challenging. It's just kind of remembering the steps as we go here be able to factorize something like this. Okay, but there we have it. So that's our introduction there to factorizing trickier quadratics. So what we're going to do now is just take a look at a couple of practice questions then for factorizing trickier quadratics. Starting off with question 1 now, we simply asked to factorize 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. So to begin with here, let me just write down this quadratic to begin with. We've got 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. So to factorize this quadratic here, this would just be a product of brackets. So I'm going to get double brackets here, like so. Obviously, because it's 2x squared now, we're going to get a 2x at the front of one of these brackets here, and an x at the front of the other bracket, like so. So now what we need here is two numbers that will times to give me positive 2. So thinking about the factor 2 here, well, there's only two ways we can do this here. We could have 1 and 2. So let's say 1 and 2 here. What we could also have here is minus 1 and minus 2. So I could have minus 1 and minus 2. Now, because I also see this negative coefficient here for this x term in the middle, and that would suggest to me that we're going to need this minus 1 and minus 2. So let's just start with the minus 1 and minus 2 here. So again, because this is 2x now, what this means here is one of these numbers will double, the other here would be times by 1x, so that would just be the same, it wouldn't change. Okay, let's just start here by doubling the minus 1, so that would be minus 2, and this one here, that won't change, that will also be minus 2. Okay, so if we add these together here, minus 2 plus minus 2, that's just the same as minus 2, minus 2, that would give me negative 4. And that's what we get here, minus 4x. Okay, so we found the correct pair here straight away. So now we just need to be careful which way we put these factors into our brackets here. So which number doubled here? Well, the minus 1 doubled. So it was minus 1 times it by 2, we get minus 2. That means the minus 1 here goes in the other bracket, like so. And the minus 2 here just goes in the remaining bracket, like so. Okay, so we get 2x minus 2 times x minus 1. And there we have it. So that's the solution there to question 1. And to finish with now, we just take a look here at one more question. We're asked to factorize 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. So to begin with here, I'm just going to write down this quadratic. So we've got 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. So again, this is just a product of brackets here. We're going to get double brackets here to begin with. So for this quadratic here, rather than it being 2x squared, now it's 3x squared. So again, at the front of one of these brackets here, we're going to get a 3x rather than a 2x now, because we need this product here of these first two terms to be 3x squared. We're going to get a 3x here. And then at the front of this bracket here, this would simply be x. Okay. So now, if we think about this here, we need two numbers now that will times to give me positive 8. So again, there's a few different choices we can have here. So let's just start here with 4 and 2. So 4 and 2. And we could also have 1 and 8. Okay, so 1 and 8 here. Let's just start with 4 and 2 to begin with. So in this case now, one of these numbers here won't double, it will actually triple. Okay, so we're timing it by 3x. Okay, that's just something to be very careful of here. So we multiplied these numbers here by whatever this number here is. Okay, so because it's 3x, we times them by 3, or we times one of these numbers by 3, I should say. So we start with the 4 here, let's triple the 4. So 4 times 3 is 12. We get 12. And for the other number here, that would obviously just be times by 1x, that would just stay as it is, that would be 2. We get 12 and 2. If we add those together here, do we get 10? Well, obviously not. 12 plus 2 is 14. So it won't be these two numbers here. So now let's try it the other way around. The 4 here will stay as it is. We get 4 there. And now we times 2 here by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So we get 4 and 6 there. If we add these two numbers together, 4 plus 6 would give us 10. And there we have it. So we found the correct pair there. So again, now we just need to be careful on the order here in which we place the factors. So we trebled the 2 here. We times 2 by 3. So the 2 here would go in this bracket, like so. We get x plus 2 in that bracket. and the 4 would go in the other bracket. So we're going to get 3x plus 4 here. Okay, and there we have it. So that's the solution there. That's our factorized form for 3x squared plus 10x plus 8, giving us a solution for question 2. And that brings us to the end of this video on an introduction to factorizing trickier quadratics. In the next video, we're going to take a look at exam revision for factorizing trickier quadratics.